Hello, greetings, namaste. The title of this video is 108, not 108, interestingly enough, but 108. Now, this is an auspicious number in Hinduism, but I would like to look at it in terms of it being a symbol or reference for something, perhaps a little bit deeper, more profound. We could look at this 1, 0, and 8 a little bit differently than we usually do. A few times now, I believe, here I have talked about 2, 1, and 0. 2 being the subject-object paradigm that, let's say, most apparent people probably live in, that I am a subject and everything else is an object. And then there's that sense of spiritual oneness, or everything being interconnected or coming from the same source. And then ultimately that 0, that nothing appearing as everything. So in that same vein, we will look at 1, 0, and 8. Now we could look at the 1 as something. I am the initial spark. At some point, usually around 18 months, a child begins to perceive separation between itself and its mother or father or caregiver. The I am slowly begins to take shape. Separation begins to come into existence, apparently. And there's that feeling, that experience of I and other, me and you, me and everything else, the 10,000 objects, the world, perhaps God. Now, I don't mean for a 2-year-old that they're contemplating God, but maybe there are a few spiritual prodigies out there who are doing that. But so we could talk about that too, or in this case, the 8, the eternal everything, the 10,000 objects, the belief that there are things, that there are objects. And of course, if there are objects, then it assumes or presupposes a subject. I am the subject, and everything else is an object. In my reality, basically, in my story. This is my life, my story. And everything is appearing within my awareness. I'm aware of my body. I'm aware of my thoughts. I'm aware of my apartment, my world, my family, my friends, my dog, my cat. So that is the two-ness, or the 8, the everything, which could also be described as the eternal, or that which has no end, that which has no beginning either, actually. The 1 could be oneness, again, that spiritual experience where you feel like everything is one. There's still a bit of separation, but it's softened. It's not as extreme as the 2 of I and other, the subject-object. Now there's a belief or a feeling, perhaps an experience to some degree, of an interconnectedness. Everything is one. Everything is made up of the same source. God is one. God is what is. This is all there is, and it's all one. There is variety and difference, but no separation anywhere. And then, of course, we go to the 0. This is nothing, appearing as everything. This is nothing. Nothing is actually happening. There's no I, no other, no me, no you, no subject, no object. This is aliveness. No time, no space, no cause and effect. All the I and other, the apparent 2, the apparent duality, the apparent polarity, it's all just a story, a movie, an empty movie. It looks like duality. It looks like objects and things and many things happening to many people. But this message is an exposure that there's nothing. This is nothing appearing to happen. It's an appearance for no one. It's like air. How would you describe air? It's a thing in a way. It's kind of a noun. I mean, we can talk about it. We have labeled it. But it's empty. It's clear. It's transparent. It doesn't have any color or shape. So what sort of adjectives could we really attach to it? In that same sense, this is nothing, nothing, nothing. It's not a black void or a black box or a something that looks like nothing. It's literally nothing. It's no thing. So how could you describe no thing? No adjectives to describe it. It is the indescribable. The Tao Te Ching says the Tao that can be spoken about is not the real Tao. So it's nothing. All there is no thing appearing as everything. One, 0, 8. It's just for fun. Just a remembrance for no one. About the different ways that this can apparently be perceived, again, by no one, or the apparent person. Again, there really isn't a me. There's a me as a story of continuity, and there's no continuity. That's an illusion. There's only the appearance of time for no one. And that is that. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be. Have a good day.